This violates every canon of respectable broadcasting.
How are you?
Hey, who wants to help me get this recorder out of here? I need some muscle over here.
You are listening to Blame Your Brother.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to Blame Your Brother, episode 88. We're back once again to entertain you for about an hour or so. Thank you so much for hanging out in the live chat tonight. And, you know, go do that every Thursday night. Go to blameyourbrother.tv. Come hang out with us as we stream the show live on YouTube. It's a fun way to hang out, make some new friends in the chat, and be entertained. It's a good time. So go hang out with us. And if you can't, you can always grab the podcast anywhere. So we'll talk about that much later. But, yeah, Blame Your Brother. Hey, there's three of us that come to you every week. I am 1/3 of that trio. I am David, a.k.a. D. Brew, voice of the people, Mr. 40%, Glenn Jackson, the spiritual midget, and human garbage. And I'm joined by this guy over here to the left. It's my brother from the same mother. It's Lee.
What up, everyone? It's the real JC, the brother to lame. LeBron's pin. There you go. LeBron's pin.
I'm also joined by this guy to the right of me. The man almost needs no introduction. It is John.
But I still get one. Anyway, it's John here, a.k.a. Tico, Mr. Groupon, the madman.
They got John Tortorella, a madman.
They do have a madman.
Okay, he's a madman.
And, of course, Mr. Disappointment himself.
Yes.
So, yes, that's the three of us. We come to you every week. We bring you this amazing show called Blame Your Brother. So hang with us, and we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. A lot of fun things to talk about. A lot of stories hit the news this week. So we will do that, but we start every show by just saying we see a lot of crazy things on the show, a lot of ignorant things, a lot of things out of bounds sometimes. So we offer each other a chance to apologize, to take back anything we may have said, to, if we said something that was wrong, correct it. And our legal team advises us to do that. So we'll start off with Lee. Was there anything from episode 87 that you said that you need to apologize for?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The guarantees were off the chart all show long. Just personal guarantee after personal guarantee. I was writing checks that my ass could not cash. And for that, I'm sorry.
All right, there you go. John, anything you said that stands out? You need to apologize for anything?
I do believe, based on Twitter this past week, that my ignorance is part of my charm, so I'm not apologizing for anything.
God.
Wow.
Holy
Quote, the Reaper, my ignorance.
It's part of my charm.
It's part of my charm.
You heard it here.
That's a key right there.
All right.
I'm gonna write that one down so I don't forget it.
Put that one in your pocket. All right. Well, I don't remember anything that stood out, so we will continue on with the show. Let me go ahead and get some business out of the way. We at Blame Me Brother are proud to announce that we have a new show we're partnering with called TiVo and the Beard. So TiVo and the Beard was a YouTube show hosted by River, who is our super producer, and he does a podcast with his friend TiVo. It's called TiVo and the Beard. It had been a YouTube-only show, but this past week, we have now hosted the files. We put it up on our website. So if you go to blameyourbrother.net, you can grab that podcast, subscribe to it. There's a link just for that show. You can make that part of your weekly listening now. So we're glad to have TiVo and the Beard as part of the Blame Your Brother squad. So go check out the podcast. It's good stuff. You will enjoy it, especially if you love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You love all those WB shows. I know John likes that stuff. So
Big fan.
It's a good listen. They talked about old shows that freaked them out as a kid on the last episode. So grab it, man. First episode's there. It'll be coming out pretty regularly. So go check that out. But yeah, that you can get that. Do it. It's on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher. It's on all the platforms now. So happy to announce that is part of the Blame Your Brother network, or whatever we're calling it. We'll get, whatever it is. So
We started from the bottom. Now we here.
I know
we're here.
We're starting to get shows on here. So, I mean, if you do a show like Sammy does the Finger Podcast, if you want us maybe to host your show, talk to us and we'll see what can happen here. I'd love to just build this up as a bunch of shows that people can enjoy and listen and just expose.
Spread the family.
Yeah, for sure, man, because it really is what it is. It's friends, family, and all that. So
And Twitter DM rooms.
There you go. Yes. All right. So, Lee, how was your past week? How was this week treating you so far?
Pretty good.
Yeah. It's almost 420. Does that mean anything to you?
No, not really.
Nothing. Okay. So, anything?
What about you?
Anything stand out this week for you?
I'm trying to think back. No, just been dealing with baby illnesses. That's something you don't really know going into parenthoods. And now I just want to walk up before I ever meet someone and just be like, do you have kids? And if they say, yeah, I'll be like, okay, you understand.
They're human germs.
If they say no, I'll be like, okay, well.
Human germs is what they are. So, all right.
It's a virus. It's a
John,
virus.
what about you, man? How was this past week treating you?
I've had better weeks.
What, I mean, anything you want to talk about, get off your chest? Or
just issues with work and vacation time.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Wow.
Well,
you want to talk about your imaginary job with the imaginary people you work with? Like, use fake names or something?
Hypotheticals?
Do you know Pig Latin?
I know a little Pig Latin, but we don't have to drop any names on that one.
All right.
All right.
Well, speaking of children, I went to Skyzone this past weekend.
Was that fun?
Here we go.
If you've ever been to Skyzone, trampoline place for kids to jump around on, get rid of some of that excess energy, bounce around, play a little dodgeball, slam a basketball on a goal. It's good times. There's a foam pit, and when parents attack at Skyzone, it's odd.
World Star.
So I was there Saturday hanging out with my boys. We're having a good time, just bouncing around, doing whatever. And in the foam pit, you jump in, and you're supposed to wait. So someone jumps in, then the kid gets out of the foam pit, and the next kid jumps in, right? So this little kid, maybe 3-year-old boy, jumps into the foam pit, and then a little girl, about 3 years old as well, jumps in and lands on top of him. I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
It's not a fun thing for sure. Well, the girl landed on the boy and hit him in the face, and so he started crying. Well, here comes the dad from 20 feet away, running at full speed, sprint speed, jumps into the foam pit and starts yelling at the little girl, going, "What is wrong with you? You hit my kid. What is wrong with you?" Pointing his finger at her face, inches from her face. So guess what happens? Her mom comes running and jumps in the pit, and now these two parents are inches away from each other. She goes, "You touch my kid. You touch my kid. You don't touch my kid." He goes, "No, you touch my kid." And they're just like yelling at each other, and all these kids are watching just petrified. So what do most people do in a situation like that?
World
Most people
Star.
people were filming it. So people either move toward the car crash or they back away from it and watch it, okay?
So what did you do? Cry and panic?
I went toward the car crash.
Did you wet your pants?
No, I did not. So a lady came up and she went into right near the pit, and she's like, is your kid okay? And they're still just screaming at each other.
Bulldogging.
And I'm like, this is about to be a fight, So I walk over there, and I look at the guy, and he's jacked to 11. He's ready to go. And I go,
What, you mean like he's ripped?
no, I mean,
Like,
he's
give us
angry.
Give us some
Angry.
physical characteristics. Describe the man, describe the woman.
okay. The guy's a white guy, probably about my age, a little bit bigger than me, but not like
Tall.
no, a little bit shorter than me, but a little bit
Stocky.
stockier than me. Yeah.
Could you
yeah.
have taken him
I mean, I
on
probably
a good day?
probably could have, but
And the woman.
the woman was a black lady, probably around my same age. I mean, average height, average weight.
What does that mean?
I mean, she's probably
Like
about
5'5"?
5'6",
5'6"?
5'5".
Could you have taken her?
Oh well, yeah, but I wasn't. I mean, I wouldn't.
But yeah.
I wouldn't have. But yeah, I totally could have. So I walk over and I look at the dad and I go, "Hey, man, I don't know what's going on here, okay? But you need to stop yelling in front of these kids. You need to get your kids and get out of here because you're causing a scene. All these kids are freaking out." And he gives me that look, and I went, "Here we go, baby."
I'm about to be jacked up to 12.
I'm about to
He's
be.
like, I can't hit her, but I can hit you.
I go, "It's about to be world star hip hop up in here." And he looks at me and he grabs his kid and runs off.
Oh, you gave him the intimidation factor.
I don't know what happened. And then the lady picks up her phone. I'm guessing she calls the police or something. It looked like she was down 3 numbers on her phone because I could see where her phone was. And the dude got out of there. He was gone, baby. And so, the lady ended up just staying there for a while. But, I mean,
How was the kid?
the little boy had a little shiner on his eye.
Did anyone attend to the children?
No, the dad grabbed the kid and just left. So, I don't know. But the little girl was fine, But
Did she do like a flying drop kick or?
no, she just jumped in, just a 3-year-old, not thinking about anything. You generally should be watching your kids. But accidents happen at these places. Like, it's, it's unfortunate. I would have been upset, but there's no way in the world I'm going to win and start screaming at a little kid and pointing my finger in their face. That's got to be kind of scary for a kid. So I'm just saying some of these parents at these places are out of control. Like, whenever I go there, I'm the adult jumping with the kids. Like I look around, I go, oh, I'm the only adult out here. That's fine. I like
that's
it.
questionable.
I have as much fun as the kids do. You know, I enjoy it. But a lot of adults are just standing there at the edge looking like.
Got the cargo shorts and their flip-flops.
Oh, this guy did. This guy did have cargo shorts. And they want to jump in, but I think they're too embarrassed. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'm here to have a good time. And if you're going to judge me for it, that's on you. But I'm having a fun time. And you're sitting around counting the minutes down.
So do you have to wear specials? Do they rent you socks?
Yeah, well, you can buy socks. We already had socks.
I'm just looking at the website. I didn't know. I have never been to Skyzone. I didn't know such thing existed.
Yeah, and there's two types of people that work there. Most of the people that work there are teenage kids. And so they're either they don't give a crap or they're like super aggressive with the quote unquote rules. Like, sir, do you have your cell phone in your pocket? You need to take your cell phone out. Sir, I'm not going to let you in. When this fight happened, the kids literally did nothing. Nothing. The woman walked up and goes, can you get some ice for this little boy? And they go, no, can't do that. I was like, what is happening right now? Do something, man. This is
okay, I have a question for you.
Literally where you work.
What are you doing? Some kids jumped in a pit. Okay. So I was looking at the website, and evidently this is like a trampoline park, and at some point there's like a padded basketball goal.
Yeah.
So you just admitted to playing with the kids.
Yeah.
Are you the type that's just like goaltending and like spiking the ball back in their face?
No, it's not like that.
Or are you letting them win?
No.
Are you like picking them up and letting them slam dunk?
You don't play. One person goes at a time and you slam dunk the ball. You're not playing a game of basketball. You're taking a ball individually and jumping up and slam dunking the ball.
Dude, in my
it's
imagination,
like a slam dunk contest.
In my imagination, this was so much cooler.
No, now there is dodgeball. So
and you play dodgeball.
Oh, for sure.
So you're wearing little kids out.
I suck at dodgeball.
Don't lie, but you try hard though.
No.
You're like doing that jump on the trampoline, sideways jump while you're rearing back and throwing the dodgeball.
No suicide throws, but
that's the rule.
Generally.
But what if the no ice pack kid is there?
You
scope it out first.
Number one, I don't have a very impressive arm. Okay, the kids think I do. So when I get out there, they're all trying to get me, and then they kind of realize I think like, oh, this guy's not very good.
Have you ever beamed a kid with a ball?
Oh well, yeah. I mean,
I felt bad about it.
I feel bad if it hits them and hurts them, sure, but I don't aim for their head or anything. I'm barely out there throwing it. Like one time I went, and I was the only adult out there.
Dave walks out and the Imperial March plays on.
He's got like his elbow pads. He's got his goggles on, a sweatband.
Yeah. But no, but it's funny because like there was like 40 kids out there, and they were all trying to get me out. I'm thinking, guys, come on, man. Like I'm not just like, I'm talking, just being funny with them and everything. I'll see like a little kid. I go, watch that kid, man. He's been working out. I go, watch his muscle. And they're like laughing and stuff. So
what?
I'm joking around with them. Like,
you're calling out the skinny kid?
Well, yeah, kind of. I'm skinny. Like, when I'm not calling them out, like,
that's rough.
No, they usually laugh and they just kind of smile at me.
I'm going to bullyalert.net and I'm reporting you.
Which
one do you go to? Is there in particular like Franklin? Is that the one I need to go to?
Yeah, Franklin. Yeah.
All right, I'm reporting your ass.
So if you've been, I'm sure you've
report it.
Parents are just nuts sometimes. Like that is an unacceptable behavior ever toward another kid. Like if you have a problem, go to the parent and go, "Hey, can you watch your kid, please?" Because your kid.
How would you handle that if some kid just walked up and punched your kid in the face?
Punched him?
Yeah.
That's different.
That's the question, though.
Well,
because you said this is never appropriate.
I'd probably go over to the parent and things would probably get heated for sure.
What if he just kept punching your kid? Would you just be like, "Come on, kid, defend yourself"?
No, I'd grab him by his shirt and probably lift him up and go, "What are you doing, man?"
What if he started punching you? Just hold him,
hug him, I guess.
Hug him out.
Yeah, I'd hug him out.
Bear hug of life.
I would never hit a kid, man. Unless my life was on the line or something. This is a Walking Dead, and he's like coming at me as a zombie or something.
I don't think zombie kids
ain't a kid anymore.
Right, he's not a kid anymore. So that was my week. So that's what I did. So
exciting. We almost saw you on the news, bro.
Almost. I saw people filming though on the side. They were all like trying to be covert about it, and they had it. I'm like, what are y'all doing?
This is why we need like more lax gun control. Because imagine if that dad would have had a gun.
Oh yeah.
Like instead of pointing a finger, he could have pulled out a gun right there.
Could have.
Yeah, he could have just been like, "Nah, this is my Skyzone."
And I wouldn't have got involved on that one, baby.
Well, you would have had your gun too. Y'all could have had a shootout.
I don't have a gun, let alone many guns to necessitate a gun rack, to quote Wayne's World. But yeah,
but when the gun laws lax up, we're all getting them, right? It's like
I'm not.
Instead of government cheese, we're getting government pistols, right?
I'm not that light. But Jason said he's disappointed I didn't video it. So the disappointment cannon has already
David already said he was pretty much the only person. He was the enforcer, right?
Yeah, you gotta.
He's gonna start wearing like a GoPro on his helmet. To the Skyzone.
I had my GoPro, and I
did you have it on?
I did. I mean, I had it in my hand. I didn't think to video it. I mean,
oh, dude, you should get like a GoPro helmet.
I got one.
And then just start like confronting people, you know?
Confronting people. Once John does the water torture tank, I'll think about it. How about that? All right. Well, let's go some sad news at the start of the show. Okay. Sad news this week. Barbara Bush passed away. And I mean, if you were a kid of the 90s, you definitely knew who the Barbara Bush was. She was George's wife, and she passed away. And they had been together for, they had the longest marriage of any presidential couple ever. So, it's kind of sad, but what's really sad about it is that, and this is the story we're going to talk about, a woman. So anyway, so you saw people get on social media and say, sorry for your loss. And
well, before we get into the story, can we just share our favorite Barbara Bush memories?
I don't know. I
don't have a favorite Barbara Bush.
Do you have a favorite
Barbara
Bush?
You're just over here talking so glowingly about her. I just figured that you had at least one Barbara Bush memory.
I mean, I respect all the first ladies. I mean, it's a tough job to be in. I mean, it almost may be as tough as being the president, They go through a lot. I mean, that's sacrificing part of their life to allow their husband to serve. And, Jason said Barbara Bush was a douche. I don't know about that. I mean, I think every first lady goes in with good intentions, whether you like them or not, whether you like their policies or their, most of the time they're trying to help literacy programs.
Well, that was her thing specifically, I believe. Like Michelle Obama was like better food in school.
Yeah.
Barbara Bush's was reading literacy for children,
which is fantastic. I mean,
I remember watching something about her, like sitting in a chair.
So
old.
Well, anyway, social media, the day and age we're in, as we always talk about, a professor from Fresno State gets on and says she celebrated the death of Barbara Bush. She called her an amazing racist who raised a war criminal. And so I saw this tweet when it first came out.
Not pulling any punches there.
And I just went, oh my God. I was like, are you see? And this woman is verified on Twitter, which means she has a blue check mark by her name. And I went, this probably doesn't end well for anybody.
How do you get a blue check mark by your name on Twitter exactly? Does anyone know?
Not really. I mean, you're supposed to be a public figure. She's a professor at a university. I don't know how most news people have them. Real famous people have them.
Podcasters?
Famous
Could I
ones.
Get a check on my name? Is what
I've tried before, and I don't know what the criteria
is. Did they even write you back, or did they just
no
radio silence?
It's just a Dear John letter, pretty much. Speak of Dear John, but yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, she added, either you are against these pieces of shit and their genocidal ways, or you're part of the problem. I'm happy the witch is dead. So
just for the record, this is on the Daily Mail.
Oh, but this is legit. I mean, I read the tweet, so I can tell you that.
I was just making sure.
No, I can tell you.
It's the way they're putting in the inflammatory bullet points and
now,
stuff.
if you think she raised a war criminal, well, then every president's been a war criminal if that's the case. So they're all war criminals if you believe that. But isn't there a point when someone dies that you show a little bit of respect if they're, unless they're like Saddam Hussein or, Bin Laden or something like that, where they've killed like.
I mean, even then, right? Like,
no,
you
not
still
even
have to weep.
No,
the loss of life.
No, you don't, Lee. No, you don't.
I don't see. I didn't see any vigils going up for Jeffrey Dahmer when he was.
Well,
killed,
that's what I'm saying. It's like people didn't like George Bush.
Well, of course. Oh,
and that's
the dad.
Well, or the son. They're talking about the son as the war criminal.
Yeah, but
maybe Barbara Bush raised her husband. I don't know. So this got me thinking, though. Like God bless Barbara Bush, and may she rest in peace.
Right, rip. She said.
But this got me thinking. And I instantly went to this, and I was like, man, what if Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is a very polarizing figure.
That's right. Yeah.
We can say with that. So if Donald Trump was assassinated, what are your opinions on that?
I think we'd have a lot of tweets like this.
Right. So, but wouldn't some people say that he's just as bad as Hitler, and who else did you say?
I don't know who would
Jeffrey
say that.
Dahmer. I think a lot of people
Well, I think they're crazy.
Some people have said it.
Well, they're calling George Bush a war criminal. Was he? Was he put on trial for war crimes?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
I kind of remember reading a story about that.
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure he was not put on any kind of
So isn't that just as bad?
Crime. No, I don't think so. I think that's just the position.
calling someone a war criminal that isn't.
Oh, well, yeah. But anyways, so she gets on there, and unlike the apology statement at the beginning of the beginning of the show, she doubled down on her statements and said, I don't give a damn what any of you think. I'm tenured at this Fresno State, and I can say whatever I want. And so I guess she thought she was going to keep her job, and she was real bold until the attacks started coming against her, and then she locked her account down, and now she has been placed on leave by the university.
Of course you're going to lock your account.
What?
But she's a fool for thinking that she would not be placed on leave after like saying you cannot I can say whatever I want and I get fired.
And maybe even just putting out that initial tweet wouldn't have gotten her fired. But then when you start attacking other people on Twitter, just being like, I don't give a damn what you think about me. I can say whatever I want. We've talked about this before. I mean, there is free speech in the world, but there are consequences for free speech. You just can't go around saying whatever you want to say sometimes without consequence. I mean, you're allowed to say it. You won't be put in jail or anything, but you can lose your job or be asked to leave.
Okay, this woman's a real peach. I just pulled up the official tweet.
Oh, yeah.
Barbara Bush was a generous and smart and amazing racist who, along with her husband, raised a war criminal. F out of here with your nice words.
This is the day and age we're in. This is why I tweeted out a while back, Twitter really needs to die. Like, if I could just push a button and make it all go away, it's just become almost worse than it's worth. So like I said, she's locked her account down, but if you start looking into her a little bit, she's a Muslim. She has written a couple books about Muhammad and things like that. So
what are you trying to say about?
So obviously she had a beef against the Bush for whatever attacks were done in the Middle East for sure. But is this the platform to really get in there and just start
the thing is like, why is she hating against Barbara when, I mean, that even if she is that way, I mean, like,
well, she said she said something like 1.5 million Iraqis died. So,
but it wasn't from her hand. It might have been from George Bush's hand.
But that's what she was saying. That she hates the entire family.
So the wife is responsible for all the actions of a husband.
She was the first lady.
That goes against me too, completely.
Listen, if a wife can't influence the actions of a man, then who can? You know, like if at the end of the day the president goes into his bedroom and lays his head on his pillow and he's like, honey, I need to talk about this war in Iraq, and you can't say something to influence him, then he's beyond reach, right? If anyone in the world can. I mean,
I guess you could say that, but I mean, I just don't know that the sins of the husband are the sins of the wife. I mean, that's crazy.
Is it the sins of the father then, son?
No, they're not.
The sins of anyone?
No, the sins are your sins. You carry your own sins with you for the rest of your life.
I mean, I wish that were true.
Well, it is true. What do you mean?
No, this ain't true in society at all.
Oh, society, no. Society, especially the moral outrage society we're in today. But anyway, basically, she has been asked to step down. And it's no different than there's a sound we play at the beginning of the episode where it says, I need some muscle over here. We need to get these reporters out of here. That woman did a similar thing where people were trying to film an event, and she basically had them removed and stop people's free speech from happening. So she was also asked to step down. I think these people we're in a society now where people think you can get on Twitter and there's no consequences for your actions.
That's what I was going to say. Like, have you not been on Twitter? Like, this is standard behavior. What this woman is doing is standard behavior. And the problem I don't have a problem with her opinion, right? Like, if she wants to have that, the way that she presented herself is just absolutely outrageous. Like, if you want to have civil discourse, the way she presented her argument was just not the way to go about it. So really all she's doing is she's trying to create hate.
Right.
She's trying to create division.
Amen.
And she doesn't like, there's nothing you could ever say that would change this woman's mind.
No, of course. And that's where we're at, unfortunately, with the polarizing, area of Twitter, is that people are just getting on there yelling out opinions, and they don't care. So really, why'd she even tweet that out really would be the question. So she has a book about Muhammad Ali. I mean,
so
I thought she had more.
The chat is calling you out because you said it was a book about Muhammad.
I think she has more than one book. I'm pretty sure.
They're saying it's about Muhammad Ali.
She has a book. She has more than one book.
And someone else is saying it's like Muhammad Ali fan fiction. I don't
know about that. She has a book called A Map of Home, From America to the Middle East and Back Again, the sparkling story of one girl's childhood by an exciting new voice in literary fiction.
Yeah, but the Muhammad book is definitely called Him, Me, Muhammad Ali.
Okay, well, I was wrong on that. Obviously, I'm not a fan of her works, obviously, but I would never.
Right, well, we're going to write that one down for an apology for next week for you, buddy. Okay?
I mean, whatever. But, like I said, I mean, I think when we really start looking at things and we look at where Christian Judea society, really people, even if you don't believe Jesus was the Son of God or whatever you want to choose to believe with that, or if you want to believe a different philosophy of religion, most religions say that you need to, as Jesus said, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. And that's something that no one's following anymore in society.
Is this televangelism?
No, it's just a good life
What
philosophy.
you need to do is pick up the phone and call our number right now, because we are gladly accepting donations for the Lord. If you want to clean up Twitter, if you want to praise Barbara Bush behind the grave, call up now.
I mean, I just think, what are we doing here? Like, what you think MLK would be doing stuff like that? You think
It's one woman on Twitter that lost her job. Don't you think you're overreacting a bit?
Good, I'm glad. So you know what? To me, she's our idiot of the week.
Oh my God, I am surrounded by idiots.
You idiots! To the idiot mobile. You idiot!
You're an idiot.
Well, that's because you're an idiot.
There we go. Saranda Jarar is our idiot of the week. So hopefully you lose your job, you bitter old Betty. So, all right. Well, rest in peace, Barbara Bush.
You know what I want to talk about?
What's that?
I want to talk about Starbucks.
Starbucks. All right. Well, big story this week in the news. Starbucks had 2 black men removed from their location and had them arrested because they were in the location waiting on another man to show up for a...
I'm here to discuss.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
So they went to Starbucks and they were waiting on another guy, a white guy, to show up. They were doing a business transaction, or they were going to discuss business at the store. And the guy walked up and said, "Can I use your bathroom?" And I guess the manager working said, "No, you may not, and you need to leave the premises." That's the ding of truth right there. And so she was like, "You need to leave the premises." Well, after that, she called the police. The police come out and they go, "You're under arrest," which is insane. And I've kind of looked into this a little bit, and these guys right here, they seem like they're very level-headed dudes. They're not like super crazy. They're not saying crazy stuff. They're just kind of like, hey, you know
what I liked about it that I heard?
What's that?
Like I was watched a news interview, and they were like, the woman interviewed him, and then afterwards the interviewer was talking to a panel that actually included the football player with the gap tooth. What's his name?
Oh, Michael Strahan.
Michael Strahan. For some reason, he was there talking. But he basically said, like, she said that she was like, do they want to sue? And they were like, no, they don't want to sue.
Right.
They just want things to be right.
They
So I
wanna-
thought that was good.
Yeah,
mean,
no, I
because
love
most
these dudes
people in
because-
society would be all about the lawsuit.
They're like, we want to have a conversation. We want to make this right. So I just point to this. If you don't, and I say this to a number of white people in the world, if you're going to sit around and act like there's still not racism in the world, you've lost your damn mind.
So you think this was 100% racially motivated?
1,000% racially motivated, without a shadow of a doubt. If that had been 2 white guys, I'm telling you right now, no way that happens.
What if they would have bought caramel macchiato?
I mean, they might have, but...
No. So the whole story was that they didn't buy anything.
Well, they were probably waiting on the guy to show up. I mean, yeah.
But they said they came in, and the guy's like, I got to use the bathroom.
Yeah, and he asked.
And he said he went to use the bathroom, and they're like, I'm sorry, bathrooms are for paying guests only.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, whatever. And I think he used the bathroom anyway.
Did he?
I
don't know.
I don't know.
about
The
that.
story's unclear. I'd assume that he did. And then they come up to him, and they said, can we help you? You know, you're supposed to be
Yeah,
paying. Like, you're not a paying customer. So that's when the cops were called.
Yeah.
And that's why they were put in handcuffs.
Yeah, which is crazy.
So you're saying if they would have been white, it wouldn't have happened.
I say that 100%. That's a guarantee. Is their word we issued earlier? I guarantee.
So what if they would have bought a caramel macchiato?
Then I guess they wouldn't have been able to do anything about it. But
this is totally aside, but I feel weird. Like something about they said on the Starbucks homepage, there's like or web page, it's like a place to gather and meet, and it outside of like buying stuff. I would feel awkward going into a Starbucks and not buying anything.
I guess. I mean, I guess I would too, but
personally, me personally.
Yeah, I mean, but I've been in coffee houses before with people I'm with, and I didn't want any coffee, so I didn't get anything, and sat down and just had conversations. I mean, we used to go to a coffee house every night, and we would buy stuff, but people would come with us and not buy anything.
Y'all would buy stuff every time.
We would, but people that came with us,
not everybody that came with us would.
100%.
There you go. So what do you do about this? How do you make it right?
You just keep having conversations, and this is an example where let's have conversations about this. Let's actually, instead of suing Starbucks and doing this or doing that, let's have conversations about how we can fix this. I mean, it is a problem. It is something we need to keep working on. And the manager was let go mutually, which means no, that not a mutual let go. But the company said, you got to go. So now people are planning a protest on Starbucks, which, I mean, whatever, who cares? And I love it that the protest actually will not take place for an entire, Starbucks is going to stop serving coffee for a few hours in the afternoon to help.
No, I heard 8 hours they were going to do sensitivity training or racial
so
profile
the stores
training.
would be closed for 8 hours or whatever. Which
but I heard that.
And Starbucks is a pretty liberal company. I mean, it is one of the more progressive companies out there. So I don't know, man. If it can happen in Starbucks, imagine what's happening in the South where no one's around. I mean,
it actually can I like. It bothers me like I'm not a big Panera fan, but every now and then I go because other people want to go, and there seems to always be a situation when I go into Panera Bread and I'm looking for a table, and there's like 3 or 4 of us with a child, and then there's no tables, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like one person sitting at a 4-top, and they've got their paper spread out, they got their laptop, they're on the phone, they're having a conference call. What do you do with something like that? You know, is it up to like the Skyzone employees to come up and bring me ice or what?
Yeah, I mean, you figure somebody will walk up to him and go, "Sir, I mean, do you mind moving to like a 1-top or 2-top where this family can come in?" But most people, as we saw with the Skyzone story, they're not going to do that because people are afraid of confrontation. And they see stories like this, and they're probably really now afraid of confrontation, especially if they're a white person and it's black couple at a table. There's no way they're going to go approach these people because we live in this age where we're afraid of offending people or we're afraid of what perception's going to be, because one of the big fears of most white people is being called a racist. I mean, that's one that
some, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the big things that people just throw out there as well. Like, we don't know that this Starbucks employee was racist. We know they did something that appears to be
At the start, you said 100%
racially motivated. It doesn't mean that person was a racist.
I mean, what else is the definition of racially motivated?
Well, you can do. I mean, just because it's like the thing. When are you labeled a liar? If you told one lie in your entire life, are you a liar?
Yes.
Well, I disagree with you. I believe if you constantly tell lies, that makes you a liar. Like, to me, I mean, that's just
a person can change.
I think there's a difference between being racist and prejudging someone.
Yeah,
and I think that's what Dave's getting at.
And maybe this employee.
Wow, that's a soft stance on racism there, John.
No, I do believe that there is a such thing as racism. I just think there's a difference.
Okay, whatever, guys. So I have a solution to this. I mean, maybe it's
Here
not.
Here we go. Uh-oh.
The wheels are very rusty and they're slow to turn. But me, John, and David, we start going around to businesses.
Okay.
And we walk in, we use the bathroom.
Yeah.
We hang out. We have our business meetings. We don't buy a single thing.
I'd be willing to do that. I'd be willing to take that and see what happens.
Would you be willing to do it in blackface?
No.
No.
Never in my life.
So, okay, remember when...
not for $1 billion.
What about that comedian that actually dressed up like a white person and he actually, went out... Do you not remember like a Saturday Night Live sketch where they did it was like...
oh, yeah, okay.
What's his name?
Dave Chappelle?
No, it's like Eddie...
Was it Eddie Murphy?
Eddie Murphy.
Okay, yes, Eddie Murphy did do whiteface.
And the makeup was outstanding.
Yes.
Okay, so we wouldn't want to do that. But what if we got other people to do it? And so we go to the same place of business.
Why don't we just do it? We don't need people to dress up as white people.
No, I'm saying we get black people and we get white people, and then we go in as white people and we do these things and see what happens, and then we send in black people and see what happens.
I know some black people. We wouldn't have to do any
blackface. That's what I was saying. I was saying that as a joke, obviously.
Okay, so anyway, so that's a big story here. I'm sure people are talking about it, but I just think...
So, you're going to do the, what do we call it? The Starbucks challenge, the coffee house challenge?
The coffee house challenge, sure. Yeah.
Okay, you're on the hook now.
So, like Jason in the chat says, I know black people. It's like you can't even say that as a white person without people taking, it's like... I don't even know what you say anymore. Like, what do you just say? Do you just say nothing? I mean, you can't admit black people. I mean, it's insane.
I think it's just because the color of your skin shouldn't matter. I think it's at the end of the day what people.
Well, these two guys would tell you different. Unfortunately, it still matters in this country.
It does matter, but it shouldn't.
It shouldn't, but it still does. So we're still working on that, and you can see the anger from the black community sometimes, where people get offended by Colin Kaepernick and all this stuff, but. you start to look at it and say, well, maybe there is a point to what these people are doing. And we're still trying to get that progress even today. And we're not that far removed. Really think about it. We're not that far removed from slavery. We're not that far removed from Jim Crow laws. We're not far removed from voter suppression. We're still, as a country, relatively young anyway.
So did you watch the video of this?
No, I just read. I read the story.
It's the funniest thing because it's like all the police officers in the videos.
Everybody's cracking up about it.
All the police officers show up in bicycle helmets.
Oh Lord!
It's like what kind of Starbucks are these people at?
So, question, John. You show up. You're a white guy, obviously. You're a white cop in this situation. Would you put cuffs on these guys? Do you think?
I'd say, what did they do?
They were called. Some lady called them for trespassing. Said they didn't order.
This is a public place.
They were asked to leave. They were asked to leave the place of business, and they wouldn't.
Would you cuff them, John?
If I was a cop,
yes,
this happened to me. I'm like, come on, guys, we'll go to this place over here.
I'll
buy coffee for you.
Nah, we're good. We're gonna stick around, man, because it's all right to be here.
Wow, putting John on the spot. He doesn't want to say he would.
I don't think I would.
Well, if there's any positive
Jason in the chat says legally they were trespassing.
Okay, that's fine. And that's the positive of this story.
But I'm surprised
is that nobody was hurt.
Right, that's true.
Nobody was tackled to the ground or electrocuted or, they eventually were handcuffed and removed for their civil protest.
I'd probably buy a coffee and hand it to him. Like, hold this.
I'm surprised.
He's a customer now.
I'm surprised no customers did do that. I actually am surprised by that.
That's what I would have done.
But we come back to Skyzone. Most people are backing away from a situation. They're not moving
so you would have done something in this situation.
I think I probably would have went, guys, let me buy you a coffee and just have a seat.
So what if they were being like rude or?
Well, I don't think these guys. But these guys weren't though. But you're saying
you don't know that?
No,
there's the one news stories I read said that they were being kind of confrontational.
Who
about
told that story?
It's on a website.
You saw these guys interviewed. These guys are quiet. They're not rude people.
So what if you're in a store and the owner of the business comes up and said you have to leave, and the guys are like, we're not leaving. We're here for a business meeting. We can't leave until the guy comes. And the owner is like, you got to go.
I'd probably walk to the owner and go, why are you kicking these guys out for? Like, what's going on here?
He goes, I asked them to order something.
I go, okay, well, I'll buy them a coffee then.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
Yeah. I'm going to start following you around.
It's
trying to get kicked out of businesses.
It's a $5 coffee.
Yo, I'd like a number 3.
Well, it's probably $8 coffee, but still, it's a coffee, man. People,
I would not buy a stranger coffee at a coffee shop if they were
in this situation.
If they were refusing to buy their own coffee because they were there for a business meeting.
Well, sometimes you got to step outside of your comfort zone.
I would be like, look, you're inside Starbucks. Buy a damn caramel macchiato. It's the whole if Starbucks is overpriced. Okay, I don't spend a lot of money at Starbucks. I can't say my family doesn't spend a lot of money at Starbucks, right? But they're a business, right? Like they're there. They're not there to provide meeting places for people. They're there to sell coffee.
I guess. Brandon asked in chat, the question is really, would you buy a friend a hooker?
I mean, I guess if he didn't have money and he really wanted a hooker, but that's a friend,
John, would you buy a friend a hooker?
Probably not.
Okay, thank you.
What if he was like, really wanted you to buy him
What
a
if
hooker?
Kenny, our old friend, was like, come on, John, I'm never going to get any, man. Just hook me up, man.
I wouldn't know how to get a hooker in the first place.
You had a hooker in your car one night.
You
had a hooker in your car driving down the street, brother. What are you talking about?
I didn't know she was a hooker when she got in the car.
No, you just asked her. She said, do you want a party? And John's like, yep, I'm going to a party. I'm going to a party, baby. So, okay. All right. Well, anyway.
Whatever.
Well,
hopefully we'll hear more positives from the story in the longer run.
I hope so. All right, let's move on to some stories, some quick hits real quick.
We got Dinosaur Puppet, Tennessee National Air Guard.
Man, how do we even get through this story quickly? So a National Guard person took their oath, and while they took their oath, they had a dinosaur hand puppet, and the dinosaur hand puppet said the oath.
Here we go. Hold on. Let me
for them.
See if I can get some video.
Thank you.
The Constitution of the United States and the state of Tennessee against all enemies.
So she's got a dinosaur puppet in her hand, and she's mimicking, moving its mouth up and down, taking a military oath.
So, John, do you have a problem with someone doing this in the military?
Yeah, a little bit.
So she's been
she's
in
Air
trouble.
National Guard, by the way.
Yes.
So not real Not real military.
Oh, I didn't say that. That's Lee.
That is Lee.
That's Lee that said that.
They're like halfway in the middle. They're reserve guards, right?
This guy right here said that, not me or John. I want that on the record.
Oh wait, that's the Air National Guard. I was talking about reservists.
So
my bad.
Do you think she should have been kicked? She's been kicked out, and she might be
They've
facing
they've both been removed from their post. Even the colonel that was swearing her in was removed from his post.
Why isn't? I mean, come on, guys. Like,
I'll tell you what it is. They probably have this little
he should have been like, you can't do that. No.
Well, what it is, they work closely together, and they have a little bit where she has a rubber dinosaur, and they were like, oh, and she was walking around there, and it'd be funny if I swore in. They're like, yeah, that would be funny.
Right.
So what? Like, what's the big deal?
I don't know what the big deal is. I think the military's kind of, they need to I understand. You're right. Going to Marine basic boot camp, and you're in the
We're
infantry.
like on the verge of World War. Stuff is getting serious.
Yeah.
It's time to put the dinosaur puppet down.
Yeah,
but it's the Tennessee Air National Guard.
I mean, come on, man. The Air National Guard. So
the Tennessee.
Jason said
Air
even the cameraman was demoted. So this woman is done, dude. She's bounced, and she might be facing like charges or something.
Brig time.
Which, I mean, this is insane, right? Like, brig time for this? Are you kidding me? Bo Bergdahl.
I just said that.
Bo Bergdahl is not even going to serve time, and this guy deserted his post in the middle of a.
But he did it for a noble reason.
Oh, you sure he did? Yeah,
that's what he said.
Well, I disagree with that. That's another subject for another day. But anyway, all right. Well, it's just a funny, weird
dinosaur puppet story.
So, John, you say reprimand, kick her out, or
you're fired.
Definitely some kind of reprimand.
But fired. I think John's leaning on fire.
I know he's a true Trumper, man.
He is, man.
I believe that the military should be revered.
All right, well there you go.
And it's something important that you've got people that are.
It's the Tennessee Air National Guard, bro.
I mean,
I don't even know if they have.
If the fit hits the shan, they're going to be just as important.
Those are statements by Lee. Brother to blame on Twitter.
Okay, next story comes up.
Okay, baby's not allowed on the U.S. Senate floor following rare moves to change rules. So she's breastfeeding. There's been no babies, and now
the chat. I'm sorry. Oh, you got to be here for these comments. Okay,
you got to be in the chat.
Okay,
so just not even here.
Babies will now be allowed on the U.S. Senate floor. What do you think about that?
So I saw on Instagram where she posted the outfit that she had picked out for the baby, and she had like a blazer picked out because they have a rule that you have to wear a blazer on the Senate floor. It was kind of cute. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
But is it disruptive to American politics?
Would you?
At this point, probably not. Historically, probably a bad idea.
Hot take.
At this point, who cares? You have a damn orange clown on top of the executive branch. You can throw out the baby with the bathwater.
Cheeto man. Well, so I work somewhere where generally, so we've had different managers over us, and the first manager we had would allow you to bring your kid in, if school got canceled or something like that. Well, then the next manager said no kids allowed at all because this is a business. Now we have a next manager, and he's kind of lax on it as well. I think with this, and the reason this is done because this is the first senator to ever have a baby while in office. And so I guess, it is tough and I've said this about single moms and mothers in general. It is tough to have a child and expect to go back to work, provide child care, which is very expensive. I mean, we all know that.
This woman's very devoted. She took her paternity leave in Washington, D.C. I believe she lives in like Philadelphia or Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But she took her paternity leave in Washington, D.C. so that she would still be near and able to work. So that's... Yeah, let her have the baby. It's not hurting. Yeah. What's it hurting?
Well, we'll find out. What if like 30 people bring babies and they're all like,
that would be. It would probably make the situation a lot better.
There we go. So at least for the babies out in the Senate floor.
Okay, something about the Southwest Flight 1380 veteran fighter pilot pulling people out of getting sucked out of an airplane. You got like 60 seconds. Go.
First off, I want to applaud the pilot. Truly, when we talk about heroes, this one was a hero in a very stressful situation, was able to land the plane and everything. But to me, does this not make you afraid to fly just a little bit? I mean,
whoever did this Photoshop
is terrible.
Is about on my level here.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But the thing is, once again, on Twitter, I'll come back to social media. People are going, well, who would you rather have fly a plane, a man or a woman? I'm like, Why are we asking these questions?
Isn't that the craziest thing?
Why are we asking these questions? You know who I want flying the plane? A good
Someone
pilot.
qualified, yeah.
I don't care if it's a midget or whatever you call them, little people. I don't care who's flying the plane. Okay, I don't care if it's a transvestite.
You can't say the word midget.
I know. I just said. Sorry.
You just said it.
I said little people.
That was the joke.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a transsexual, transvestite. It was a guy. It's a girl. They're gay. They're straight. I don't care. Can you fly that plane? Can you get me down at the end of the day? That's what I got to say about that. So kudos to her. I hope she gets it's a lot like Sully, they're saying, and God bless pilots, because man, that is a stressful job, and I've flown enough and never had any accidents, so knock on wood, but there you go. I applaud her.
Can you imagine getting sucked out of it?
No, it's scary. Person died. I mean,
that?
one person died, and then another person almost got sucked out, and the people.
It's really amazing more people don't.
Oh, I know. It petrifies you.
Oh, Bitcoin update.
Okay, here we go. Go ahead.
They're already starting to do pyramid schemes. So they started a $66 million pyramid scheme where you get extra Bitcoins if you bring your friends in. So they started paying people. They like promised dividends or whatever. So they started paying people at first, and then they started paying people in their they started another Bitcoin business for celebrities, and then they started just paying people in that Bitcoin, and then they just packed their bags and left. $660 million gone. So what I would say, hold. Hold. Continue to hold.
I would say run away from cryptocurrency at this point. That would be me, but what I know.
Okay, giant robot from Japan. I was told no one cares. TJ Miller. No one cares.
Okay. Well, let's get on Who's to Blame then, because every week we do a little segment called Who's to Blame, and we're going to hit the sounder and we're going to get into it.
Now tell me who's to blame. Now tell me who's to blame. Now tell me who's to blame. Won't tell me who's to blame.
All right, it's time for Who's to Blame, where we take a topic. One person argues for that topic. The other person argues against that topic. So this week, it is National High Five Day. You guys want to do it? No. Okay, Michael, Anthony, Lee, and John, you guys give each other high fives. I'm not part of this. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it's National High Five Day.
Give myself a high five.
All right, so there you go. So today we're going to talk about the merits of high fives. Someone's going to be pro. So who is up today?
I think it's you and Lee.
Me and Lee. Lee, do you want to be for high fives or against
I'll be
high
pro
fives?
high five.
All right, go ahead. Start off.
Okay, so listen, high fives, it's like a universal language. You look at the world, the Tower of Babel. There's all these languages going around, right? Japan, China, America. We can't talk to each other, but we have certain things that we can communicate, and one of them is the almighty high five. When you see someone put up their hand, it's a symbol of awesomeness. Now, and also on the other token, getting denied the high five is a symbol of anti-awesome. The high five communicates so much without saying a single word, and then it's just when it's perfect, it feels so good.
My man, have you seen the movie Outbreak? Have you seen Contagion? Have you seen these movies where germs are spread across them? No.
Hollywood.
True stories.
It's never happened.
Oh, it has happened. How do you think germs are spread in the office place? Handshakes and high fives. And I think we should essentially ban both of them. The dab is fine. The little fist to fist is fine. But even I don't want to do that. When I have to wait on customers, they try to give me high fives or shake my hands.
You want to do a bow?
Just look at each other and go, hey, what's up, man? There's too much. I've already talked about my disdain for bathrooms, and I'm starting to work now. We're starting to take count of people not washing their hands, and it is a very high count, very much higher than you would think. And guess what? That guy just went in the bathroom and didn't wash his hands. He's coming to you, man. He's like, hey, bro, what's up, man? Give me a high five. Guess what just got on your hands? Fecal matter, my friends. Now, are you going to wash your hands after that? No. So guess what? You touching your mouth later? You got fecal matter all over your mouth because you like high fives, man. You want to celebrate National High Five Day? Well, there you go. You just tasted shit, my friend.
We're getting rid of door handles. We're getting rid of door handles, y'all.
We should have doors that you should push with your feet, man. High fives, they're disgusting. It's bro.
Why don't we just crawl around in the dirt while we're at it?
It's bro. High five, bro. Yeah, man. Y'all too cool, man. High five, bro.
Just because you're not cool.
I call for the ban on high fives immediately. It is terrible. It's a terrible thing. And you're saying that's how people...
You can try to suppress the high five, but the high five is natural. It will never be suppressed.
Go to Japan.
You might as well outlaw breathing.
Go to Japan. Go to Japan and try to give a high five. I guarantee you, no way that ain't happening over there, buddy.
No,
and they're a lot more clean than we are.
I have a friend that talks about the gaucho.
No, that's not a high five.
No, I'm just saying.
So you like fecal matter? There you go. I won. That's over.
Did
Who's
not.
to blame? Yes, I did.
Loser.
No, I totally won. So there we go. That's who
Totally
won.
lost. High five, bro.
All right. So there we go, Michael Anthony. That was just for you. All right, guys. Well, it's that time of the show where John over here, he's got his disappointment cannon. He's shooting it at everybody. Disappointment. So it is time for the internet's most infamous segment. It's time for Dear John.
Robin saying some crazy stuff in chat.
By the time you read these lines, I'll be gone.
All right, so it's time for Dear John. Lee's going to read an email we got this week. John's going to try to give advice, and River has constantly told you, John, you better bring a take this week.
All right. Well, if there's any small children listening, now would be the time to cover their ears.
Mute this.
6 months ago, I asked a close female friend to help me prepare a gift for my husband for our 5th wedding anniversary. I wanted to create a photo album of sexy nude photos of myself. Her excellent camera work provided me with a wonderful collection, and my husband loved it. I recently found out on social media that my girlfriend's husband viewed and copied my private photos and shared them online with mutual male friends of ours. I'm devastated. My girlfriend is sorry to the max. My husband isn't yet aware of my exposure to others. I don't want to tell him, but at the same time, I don't want some guy spilling the beans. My girlfriend is helping to stop the sharing of my pictures. Should I hope for the best or tell my husband from Ashamed in the USA?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I'd be upfront. I'd be upfront with him. If he finds out on the back end and he knows that you knew of it ahead of time, he'll be way more angry. But if he knows that, at least let him know. Make sure he knows the ins and outs of everything that happened when the photos were taken. I think if he knows all that through and through, he'll be much more understanding.
So make sure he knows the in and outs of your sexy nude photos.
Mutual male friends is the key statement of this advice column. John, have you ever heard the term ignorance is bliss?
Yes.
Would you want to know?
It's part of his charm.
Would you want to know?
It's part of my charm.
The one time he needs to go with it, he goes the opposite. Josh just like, he's the compass is constantly broke, North is always south in John's world. But look, you cannot tell your husband about this because you don't. Are you going to tell your husband every guy that's ever flirted with you before? You go out to a bar one night with your girlfriend, some guy comes up and flirt. Would you want your wife?
That's ridiculous. Here's the thing. If you take nude photos, you have to assume they are on the internet. You have to assume they are on the internet. When you give your husband sexy nude photos, he assumes everyone has seen them.
I would disagree with that.
It's true.
John.
Name one instance that hasn't happened.
Anyone. I don't know. I wouldn't. I'm assuming that people expect no, they wouldn't. But it's So you want this husband to know that all the male friends, dudes he knows, have seen his wife nude.
Unless it's like a Polaroid. Unless it's like some kind of instant camera.
The question is,
if it was a digital delivery, then someone else has seen it.
Do you want to know that all of your dude friends have seen your wife naked?
I mean, if he liked these pictures, then yeah, probably.
Oh my God!
Listen, here's the thing. Listen, let me break it down for you.
I'm glad somebody said something stupider than I.
Y'all are looking at it all wrong. She loved this. She loved this
whole. Oh my God!
She loved this camera taking experiencing. No. She loved the sexy camera nude time. She loved presenting it to her husband for gratification or something. She's got a new career ahead of herself, man. Why stop here? Let the floodgates open.
Woman, listen to Voice of Reason. Do not tell your husband about this. Just ignore it. It never happened, and let it just die, man. That's my take.
Get you a bucket for the keys and just put them by the door.
There we go. And that's Dear John. All right. Let us know what you think, if who you agree with. All right. So speaking of pictures, we do the Blame Your Selfie. No nude pictures this week, but we'll go ahead and share all of our listeners' selfies in the Blame Your Selfie.
Honestly, when I first started doing this show, you said you have to take selfies of yourself. Put it on the Blame You Selfie. And I literally thought you were insane. I was like, why would anyone take a selfie of themselves?
All right, it's time for some selfies. So here we go. If you're in the live chat, you're watching these. If not, you're missing out. First up, we have Ball Pit Gangster. This is Katie, ballpit_gangsta. And it says, sinus fun times. And what we have here is a selfie of her skull in an x-ray machine, which this right now is a contender for selfie of the week for sure. We've never seen one like that before. So nice skull there.
I would love to see Ball Pit's butt
in an X-ray.
Yeah.
Well, it might happen. She has her own account dedicated to
I don't even know what this is. Kim Kardashian submitted?
That's oh my God. Yeah, I wish. That would be quite a day
You're
for us.
supposed to play along, man.
Okay, yeah, Kim Kardashian submitted one. Okay, this is Jenice at Jenice, and it says, when all you want is coffee, hashtag
I know
blame
that
your
feeling.
selfie.
We got a 2 for this week.
And Jenice again says, duck, cold enough for a hat.
And it's been a little wacky
Hashtag
with the
blame
weather.
your selfie. Yeah, it went from 78 one day to 32 the next day. Fantastic.
Oh, this is a blame your...
This is Ha Simpson. Says, I'll be over here thinking about our veterans and hungry children. You do you and bitch about Roseanne. Hashtag priorities. Hashtag Black Rifle Coffee, which is a good coffee. Hashtag veteran owned. Hashtag blame your selfie. And she's rocking the Instagram filter looking like a cat, a panda. I don't know. What's she supposed to be there, John? What animal is that?
I think cat.
Okay, cats. There you go.
It's a rabbit.
All right, next up we got Michael Anthony. How is your day? Well, how's your day? Lee, how's your day?
It's high five-tastic.
John, how's your day?
Not so great.
All right. This is me in Mountain Dew Green. There you go. It is National High Five Day. 3 famous people I would like to high five are Sarah Walsh, Miss America, and Melanie Layden. Hashtag blame yourself. Who are 3 people you would like to
Do you know any of those 3 people?
I know Melanie Layden.
I would say Syl, the singer.
Okay.
Lance Armstrong.
Okay.
And let's go with the guy.
Okay, John. 3 people you like to high five right now. Go.
Do they have to be alive?
No.
John, I guess you can high five their dead bodies.
Okay,
I mean,
There's
I
a
mean
lot
come
of
on,
people.
man.
Paul McCartney.
Okay.
Adam Duritz.
Okay.
And
Stormy Daniels. All right, good 3. And I don't believe in high fives, so I would pick nobody. All right, up to the next selfie here. This is our social media coordinator. This is L New York. It says, I'm using this, my glasses, and Snapchat's ears. Hashtag blame your selfie. And it's that same.
It's a bear.
It's a bear.
That one's a bear.
L turned into a bear this week, rocking New York. This is our producer, super producer River. It says, AKA producer to blame. It said, it's been a great day to do nothing. If you're too lazy to think of a witty tweet, blame your selfie. So there you go. That's our super producer. Here we go. We got Half Pint, who writes for the site as well. Says, blame your selfie. Will this weather make up its damn mind? Which is
Amen,
very
brother.
true, man.
Amen.
This has been what a weird week for weather, man. Like almost 80, then down to 30, then to 50, and then back up to like 70-something next week. So I don't know. What a week. All right. Well, we've done our selfies. We've given out our advice. We've done who's to blame. So we know what time for. It's time for the major key.
So let me give you a major key.
Another one.
Where is the key?
That is not the key. I want the key.
Give us the keys. So let me give you a major key.
And you really do have the key.
Everybody stand up right now. Everybody. I got the keys now.
All right, it's time for our major key of the week, where we pick a life lesson, life advice from the show, and let you have it in your life, and hopefully it helps you out. So, Lee, what did you write down? Anything that stood
ignorance is mostly charm.
Okay, I think we need to go with that. I mean, it ties into the selfie, and it's it. So, John, you made it this week, man. You did it again. What would you say it is? Ignorance is mostly charm.
Everybody stand up right now. Everybody. I got the keys now.
There we go. That's your major key of the week. Ignorance is mostly charm, or ignorance is bliss, is the chatter saying. But either way, it works out. So that was our episode, man. We tackled race issues, misogyny issues. We tackled all giant robots out of Japan, which we didn't even get a chance to talk about how that's going to end the world. But we'll talk about that another day. we've tackled all the big issues.
You know what we didn't talk about?
What's that?
Our bonus footage this week.
Our bonus footage. So what you need to do is go to our YouTube channel. You need to subscribe to the YouTube. We're putting out videos up there. I did a Funko Pop review this week. We have clips from the show on there. So if you subscribe, you can check all those out. And then after the show's over tonight, we're going to have the Arm Wrestle Challenge, the Sticky Arm Wrestle Challenge. And what it is, you arm wrestle. The loser gets their hand put into a sticky substance. And then we're going to give money to charity. So just be ready for that. We'll see who is the arm wrestling champion of the three of us. So be looking for that. Go to youtube.com/blameyourbrother. Subscribe, watch it, see what you think about it. And we'll be giving some money to charity, so it's for a good event. River and TiVo and the Beard did it, and River destroyed TiVo. It was kind of funny. But anyway, so there you go. All right, so that is that. Yeah, man, you need to go check out our website, blameyourbrother.net. That's where you can find our podcast. You can also now find TiVo and the Beard. You can find all of our social media. You got Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's all there. You can also find ways to subscribe to the show. So if you use an Android, iPhone, whatever you're using, all the links are up there. You can also support the show by shopping on Amazon. Use our Amazon affiliate link. You buy things, we get a small percentage of sales. Doesn't cost you any extra. That helps us out quite a bit. Shirts have been put in. The order was approved today, so we should be getting those in the next 2 weeks or so. So I'm looking forward to that. But until then, if you want to buy a shirt, there's a link for that as well. We're streamed every Thursday on Radio Vegas Rocks. Go to radiovegas.rocks, and you can listen to us every Thursday. Tons of other great shows on there. Or download the app, and you can listen to it 24/7. Also, if you want to email us, if you want to write in to John, get a Dear John going, there's a box for that. Or if you just write into the show, Michael Anthony's friends, fans, family write in every week telling us he's the man. So if you want to tell us Michael Anthony's the man, do that, or you can do whatever you want. And like I said, there's tons of stuff there's articles coming up on the website, bonus features, all kinds of good stuff. So just make sure you go check out the website, bookmark it, check it out frequently, and tell all of your friends about it. So there's a lot. Infinity War's coming up very soon, so look for Half Pint to write about that. And Adam Cox wrote about Rampage this week. So if you're thinking about seeing Rampage, you're on the fence about it, read his review, and you'll see if if that's the movie for you or not. So Lee, I guess we've hit everything else. Is there anything else?
Don't blame yourself when you can blame your brother.
Welcome to Memory of the Week. Today is Thursday, April 19th, the 109th day of 2018. There are 256 days of the year. On April 19th, 1993, a 51-day siege at the French Davidian compound near Waco, Texas ended after fire destroyed the structure as federal agents began smashing their way in. About 80 people, including 24 children and sect leader David Crush, were killed. That is today's Memory of the Week. David, John, and Lee, back to you.